Let's start standing. So if you're just joining, welcome. All right, Hatha Yoga. You can see I have my blocks out in front of me. They're good to always have handy. So just for a moment, we do want to regularly become more aware of our posture. Right? Remember this idea about how posture can add years to your life or take years off your life. It can also really change your energy, the digestion, the endocrine system, how your chemical body's working, the thyroid, the adrenals, the thalamus. We really want to work on standing up tall, okay? And that takes work and study here. So I start by kind of lifting my heels and my toes just for a moment, just feeling the feet, how they relate to the floor, and then engaging my thighs and my butt, okay? Little lift in the core, sucking into the side body. So not only do we pull the abdomen in from the front and up a little bit, we also kind of pull it in from the sides and up. Okay? It's a little bit more challenging. Shoulders roll back and down a few times. If you're just joining, we're starting with our posture. Crown of the head lifts up. Okay, deep breathing now. Big inhale into your abdomen, middle ribs, upper chest. Maybe even hold the breath. And then big exhale. Okay, so we started with the postural awareness and now the breath awareness. This is the foundation of our Hatha Yoga. And you can close your eyes. So remember, a big inhale starts in the lower abdomen, moves upward into the middle lower side ribs, and then into the upper chest collarbone, even into the upper back. Remember, you want to start to bring the breath into the back more, okay? So last few breaths here, we just want to start with a subtle meditation, all right? I don't usually take too long here. I like to get you going into things and teach you the meditation, give you the information as we're in an exercise, all right? So if you're just joining, we're going to do a particular method today, okay? It's slower, more subtle. We're going to start in the standing. We're going to come down and work the arms and the core. We're going to come back up to standing and then back down, and with some stretching, okay? So nice big inhale here. Big exhale. So Hatha Yoga traditionally starts with the mantra. Let's do our Om. If you're not comfortable with the Om, you could do a hum, a very soft sound to yourself, or just breath work is fine. One Om to start. Big inhale if you're going to join me. Om. Squat Kriya yogis. So separate your feet a little bit. Okay, big inhale, reach your arms up and back. Big exhale, bend the knees, reach down, forward. Big inhale, arms up, chest up. Exhale, big exhales, the big arm swoop, okay? If you want to hear the breath. Yogis, we're going to do like 3 to 4 standing warm-up movements. And then we're going to start this more subtle Hatha practice. But I do want movement and breath to start. Movement is going to really heat your body up and move blood flow rather than just start you into static holds. So I want you to move a lot. If you need to take it a little lighter, squat kriya can be like this, guys. It can just be something like this even. Okay, doesn't have to be deep, okay? It can also, if it's all too much, just going something like this. That's a squat kriya too, all right? I like to get those arms circling if you can. You can reverse it now. Notice how I do the back bend standing, see that? Back bend, forward bend. Last few. You want to go about maybe 20 to 40 reps is a good place to be for a warm-up air squat. And guys, when I warm up, exercise, yoga practice, I always do a squat. Always. We should do this in every class. I just don't want to be too repetitive. But when you're thinking of the top exercises, it's hard to beat this one for strength and flexibility, for blood flow, for all levels. It can be very challenging. You can speed it up a lot. You can jump. You can make it a lot, more exciting, okay? Now the second plane, let's stand up. You guys know it, it's like the three planes of movement. We wanna go side to side. I'll start with the more challenging. Intertwine fingers, do your opposite pinky that you normally do in front. Big inhale, we're gonna reach out. Nice little slide down that exhale. And let's think movement, guys. You're more than welcome to hold, but think movement for now. Weight in the heels. See how I lift my toes? Press them down, the big toe down. And a little exhale into my side body. I'm not necessarily trying to stretch. I'm trying to open up the movement plane, okay? Now, say this is too much. You're doing this, right? You could separate your feet and kind of go like this. A little bit easier, right? Say that's all too much. You could do this, right? Say it's easy, you want more. It's double exhale out the mouth. Look at that. There's 4 levels for many different people. All doing the same thing we're looking for. Getting our side bodies, our underarms. Well, as long as your arms are up, you're getting the underarms. But if you're doing this, it's still enough because the main thing is more like our core and our lower back. So either way, it's all doing good, all right? Now, I want to go into the third plane of movement and we want the asymmetrical legs. So what's the third plane? It's transverse, rotational, or twisting, and the asymmetry, we haven't really done that yet. So we can do the lunge. I love this one here. Let's step up to the front of our mat. We're just kind of going through a warm up here, yogis. Now, look how I take my hands in front. This is how I like to start you. There is more assertive versions, but warm up. So I just kind of intertwine my fingers in front of me. All right, elbows hug in. I'm gonna step my left foot back. I'm gonna exhale, twist to the right. Notice my knees bend. Twist with the core. Now, if you want more, big inhale like this, arms up. Hands come down, right foot back, exhale, twist to the left. Don't over twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Whatever foot steps back, you twist to the opposite side. And you notice I'm still adding the back bend. I pretty much always do that. Go ahead. Does everyone get it? Look at it. If I step my right foot back, I twist to the, you don't have to make that noise, but I twist to the left. It's always fun. Like, I have this one friend that I practice yoga with a lot. He's a yoga teacher. Really big, like tall, 6'5" guy. And we practice yoga together, and he's just like making all these loud noises the whole time. He's like, and we wanted to, I always suggest in class we try to, reduce kind of, unnecessary moaning and noises. But, I'll let you do your thing in Zoom. No one can hear you though. All right, let's stand up. Now we want to think reaching for our toes, but let's start with hamstring hinge. This is the last warm-up exercise. Feet hips width distance. Bend knees, big inhale, lift chest. Exhale, hinge forward. Now, I just want to take it to hamstring tension first. We are going to go all the way down in a moment. Inhale, don't forget, this is hip thrust, so it's just like bridge. I drive my pubic bone forward, squeeze the butt. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Go ahead. Yogis, you can keep your legs really toned without weight, even though a little weight is good. Especially if you're something like quad dominant and you need to get those glutes firing. Weight is a good way, but you can really keep strong muscles. I don't do any weights really. I mean, once in a while I'll do some light weights, but you can really keep a lot of muscle density without weights. But you gotta really, the point is you gotta really work on like contracting, like squeeze that butt. All right. This is a powerful hip thrust. That's the main glute exercise. Now listen, next time you stand up, let's take it further, reach up, exhale, forward fold. So now you think a little bit more like flexibility, okay? Inhale up, exhale down. If you want more, watch me. Last standing warm up, second part, look how I swing my arms behind me, I bend the knees and the arms go up and over. Inhale, standing back bend, exhale, standing forward bend. I will let you hold this stretch at the end. Take a few more times up and down. Ideally, you've already done 10 to 12 in this hamstring tension. You do 10 to 12 at least, up and down, a little bit more kind of like water-like. So the first one was more like stiff and contraction, strengthening. And now this one's a little bit more like releasing, moving, blood flow work, as I like to call it. It's all about moving that blood, yogis, into spaces where it's not going. Blood carries the energy, it carries the nutrients, it carries the light, it also carries the electric charge. It's all about that blood flow moving, yogis, you know, to an extent, but movement is not king by any means, though. All right, guys, let's stand up. Let's shake it out here. Just give it one of these if you need your loosening twist, because we got our stiff twist, the active twist. So this would be one last recommendation. Roll out wrists, shake legs out, lift knees. Okay, so here we're gonna go. So we're gonna start our Hatha Yoga alignment slow work. I'm gonna work you, then we're gonna come down to the arms and the core. So let's work those hips. Let's start with our hands on our hips just to keep ourselves honest. Shoulders roll back and down, find our posture. Shift our weight to our right foot, left knee lifts. All right, take a breath or 3 here. Now, just to start, yogis, we're not gonna go crazy. It's subtle movements, all right? So your left knee is lifting, you're holding. I really want you to drive your left knee up. So just to start, I don't like the word pulse, but subtle, small, muscular movement. Hands on hips, good posture. Lift the knee higher, lower it a couple inches. Lift the knee higher, couple inches down. Couple inches up, couple inches down. All the time, my right knee is really strong. My right leg is really straight. That looks good. Just a few more rounds. The left knee is lifting up, the left knee is lifting down. Yogis, this is very simple, but it's very powerful. You know, to be able to lift your knee up higher, higher, okay? Higher, higher. Now, last part here, guys. Go slow. Keep the left knee lifted. Just bend your right knee an inch or two and straighten. Bend your right knee, your standing knee, and straighten. Bend, straighten. You do not have to go low. And I know your hip flexor's killing you. All right. 3 to 4 more times. Yeah, so same side, but different leg is doing the action. Okay. Now in this, I'm giving you the easy version of this. When we do this in the kin stretch, in the Hatha, it's like 10 exercises in a row on one leg. All right, now go slow. Left foot down, give it a little shake. What feels nice is a different plane. So look at lateral tilt, feet widen. They don't do this in Hatha Yoga either usually. They're not like, let's release always. We go right to the next side. So right knee lifts, hands on hips. Okay, now go slow, right knee lifts, lift it up a couple more inches, lower it down just a couple inches, not too low. Lift it up a few more inches, lower it down a few more inches. Try to get like, again, 6 to 12 is a good place to be. You're just simply driving through your left heel. So look at my left toes, they do kind of lift. You're just lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering. Last few. It's only a few inches, guys, all right? Small movements is key here. To keep that muscle in tension, move it into compression, you're driving into that lifted knee. Now, hold the knee up, keep your left heel down, bend your left knee a little bit and straighten. It's like an inch for a lot of us, guys, okay? Bend, straighten, and lift the knee. Bend, straighten, bottom leg, lift the knee. Last few. If you're feeling this in your back, that's because we are strengthening your back. This is all core. Okay, it's not really that much legs. It's more of the psoas, the glutes, the glute medius and max, right? I want to start using Thursday for like more subtle practices. I'll tell you, subtle movements are considered more difficult, really, period. You know, a lot of yoga teachers have you do like that. They're moving really subtle all the time. I want to teach big movements too, though, so I mix it up here. Now listen, bring both feet down. One of my favorite releases for that is lateral tilt, okay? or just twist it out. So a different plane of movement. All right, so we got to keep going here. Stand up nice and tall. Hands go on hips. First knee lifts. So we're back here again. We're going to go through a couple rounds, but different exercises. And then I'm going to switch it up. We're going to go down to our arms. Now, stand up really tall, guys. Now, nice and easy, okay? Go slow. Straighten your front leg. Bend it. Straighten. Bend it. Straighten. Bend it. Last few. You don't have to do a lot, yogis. You know, say this is really achy. Say, you know, it's not feeling, it's gonna, know the difference between difficulty and achiness though, you know. All right, come back here. Now watch me. Drop the knees to meet. Stand up tall. Squeeze your heel to your butt. Straighten the knee a little. Same leg. Squeeze, straighten. That's antagonist muscle. Hamstring versus quad. Couple more. Come on, yogis. Let's work those legs. Gotta work those legs. You know, I throw in little pieces of this stuff throughout the classes like I mentioned. But today's the day we're looking at it as a method, the subtle, you know, in the modern yoga it's called like, the, you know, these kin stretch or these ballistic compressions, compression strength. When we work compression strength, it's gonna help reduce shear force on the joints. So good to remember that, okay? It's difficult, but it's worth it. Now take your left foot down, give it a little bit of this. I like to go like this too. I'm a big fan of just shaking it out, right? Now, hands go on your hips, right knee lifts. Now, I want you to keep that right knee lifted, okay? We're not lifting here or bending the knee. Now, all that stays the same. You're gonna straighten your right leg, or that top leg, whatever side you're on, and then you're gonna bend. Keep the knee lift, straighten, hold, and then bend. It's a brief pause, right? Go ahead. Yeah, all the while you're getting so much more balance. You know, it's a nice way to sneak in all this extra stabilizing. Don't forget that your stabilizing balance muscles, tonic, so much different than the phasic. You know, you have to remember that when you're working out. I got to work my phasic muscles, yeah, the big ones, outer, and then I got to work those stabilizers, usually deeper, rotator cuff, hip rotators, the stabilizers, glute medius, you know. Gotta remember that. Balance is very different than phasic. Right knee down next to left knee. Stand up tall, point the toe, pull the heel to the butt. Woo, hamstring. Drop it down little, squeeze the heel to the butt. Don't let the knee come forward. See that? No good. Knee next to knee. Squeeze, release a little. Squeeze, hold, release a little. Antagonist action. Please continue. How is this, guys? Pretty difficult? You feeling it? Nice. This is just looking at the body as the, you know, how does it work? A mechanism. The muscles, in my opinion, are the most mechanistic part of your body, like a machine. You know, you get to the chemical, the neural, the endocrine, you get to the digestion, the brain. It's very, something deeper happening than just like a mechanism. But the muscles are like a pulley system. You know, you hear some biologists will totally disagree with that, but it's so simple. It is. It's like one joint pulling on one side, you know, and they're antagonists. So slowly release, give it one of these, yogis. So we're gonna do one more round standing, and one more kind of sequence in. We're gonna hit those arms for the first time. We're gonna do bent arm holds in multiple ways today, all right? So keep working with your legs. Legs are gonna get a break in a moment here. Hands on hips, left knee lifts. All right, so now the first thing we're gonna do is go to like, it's a subtle warrior 3. So I want you to lift that left knee, okay? If you want the quick challenge, watch what I'm gonna do. Now, I'm gonna bend the right knee. See my standing leg knee? And I'm gonna shift back a little bit. And then I'm gonna come back up to standing. Yeah, we're entering territory a lot of us don't go. I need to bend my standing knee, go back a little, up, back a little, up. See that? That's straight core, all right? It's a lot of muscles that you might not be used to using. Now, I won't let you hold there too long. I want you to shoot your left leg back and bend your right knee coming down on the chest forward. So think of it like a bent knee kind of, we're not doing this warrior three just yet. I don't think we're warmed up really enough for that yet. So I'm kind of keeping my knees bent, all right? Now go slow, watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bend the right knee, straighten, bend the right knee, straighten. It's a little warrior three squat. This is one I teach quite often in yoga classes. It is a type of squat, right? Not easy, guys, so, take your time. Now, what I'm gonna have you do is bend that knee, and we're gonna try something today. Bend your back knee and your standing knee. Cat-cow, hands on the hips. Inhale, arch the back, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine, leg can come down. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Does everyone see it? It's kind of like a soft, bent knee, warrior three type position. But I'm arching on the inhale, rounding on the exhale. Last two or three. Some of you are already done, that's fine. It is difficult when we do a couple exercises in a row on one leg, but that is strength. Strength is never easy. I was like working with somebody private the other day. I don't even know them, they were referred to me for private Zoom yoga, coming off, back injury, chronic back pain. And, luckily none of you know them. So they have a very weak mind, okay? Let's stand up, let's shake it out. And that's like the first catalyst towards change. Like everything we were doing, like bridges even hurt her, right? So it was like, how do we teach the mind to be strong after it's been beat up by injury? That's the first thing, like how do we teach will, right? To push past uncomfort. Second side, right knee lifts. Now, what I did, yogis, is I bent my standing knee. I inhale back a little. Exhale, Inhale, left knee bends, standing knee bends. Core lifts, up. What this posture is, it's kind of sneaky. We're doing like this here, guys. It's very similar. See how I'm pushing forward? All right. We're trying to lengthen the hip flexor. So it's tension, strength on the hip flexor. It's actually, the only place you really find that in yoga is lunge. All right, now back up here. Now go slow, bend your standing knee, shoot back through this awkward warrior three. And then what we're gonna do, I just kept our hands on our hips to keep it in the legs, the awareness. I want you to bend your standing knee and straighten more. Bend your standing knee and straighten more. We could spend all day on these movements, and we are gonna spend more time. But for now, it's a warrior three type squat. Like the first couple exercises, I felt it around my back and my side a little bit, but now I'm just like, whoa, it's actually feeling strong. It's tightening up, and that's what I mean. You got to get over that first hurdle of difficulty. You don't get the benefit by just doing a little. You have to, be brave and courageous. That's how you gain that, stuff you're looking for, okay? Now, the final part here, guys, is the cat-cow. Now, I see some of you taking a little breather. That's fine. Come back and join us. Now, I'm in this bent knee weird space, right? I'm going to inhale, arch the back, look forward. Exhale, round. My leg is kind of following my pelvis. It's not actually my leg bone moving. It's the pelvic tilt that's moving the back leg. So a new place to try cat-cow. All right, let me see. Yeah, you're gonna fall. That's fine. Yeah, good time to drink your coffee. I see some. You're like, oh yeah, my coffee's getting cold. Now let's stand up, shake it out, guys. So you're gonna feel this in your back. It's always good to like throw your hands right in there. You know, give that lower back. You can find your lower rib. If you put your thumb in the lower back there, you get your lower rib and your sacral, your ilium, this big bone, the crest there, you kind of push right in there. You're fine. You can jam the thumb right in there, give a little massage. You can even go a little something like that. Look at this. Look at that therapeutics, right? Look at this. I take it on the glutes. Hit those glutes. In case it's getting achy, right? That's a nice little method. How about we start getting into the arms? Feet at the front of your mat. Let's take a big inhale. Squeeze the butt. Back to your posture. Big exhale. Inhale. Reach your arms high. Go slow. Big exhale. Forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Let's step back to down dog. Take a couple breaths. First, you know, I forgot to have you hold our forward bend stretch earlier. So anytime you need to throw something in, if I forget something, you do that. You know you can do that in my class. One of my favorite styles of yoga is the Dharma yoga. And it's not that big here in LA. You know, there is a Dharma yoga studio in the Marina Del Rey area, but there's a certain style they do where the instructor comes in and is like, okay, moving yoga. Okay, twisting yoga. Okay, forward bend hold. Okay, back bend hold. Okay, core, abs. They don't really like give like direct instruction. It is considered intermediate practice. And I always really vibed with that, where they're giving you some direction and form, but they're really giving you a lot of freedom. Okay, so if say we're in a forward bend like dog and you want to do handstand instead or child pose, those all are basically in that realm. So we're in down dog. Let's start our vinyasa chaturangas. Nice inhale, lifts our heels, shifts us forward. I'm going to add 2 or 3 push-ups every round. So bend the elbows, straighten the elbows. Don't forget you can drop to your knees. Push-ups are fantastic. We're going to bend our elbows. Nice inhale, either on the chest or halfway. Elbows back and down, chest forward and up. Okay, downward dog or child pose. So a little extra emphasis on those arms now, okay? Big inhale, let's shift forward again. Nice exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Take your 2 to 3 push-ups. And then hover halfway on the third or down to your chest. Take your time, big inhale, press the feet down, lift the chest to heart. Down dog on the exhale. I'd like you to take, 2 or 3 more vinyasas. If you want to go right upside down, I am going to have you hold low plank in a moment. So, I'm thinking movement a little bit more right now, particularly weight bearing in the arms. Hard to be push-ups, yogis. You can do push-ups every day. It's just your body weight. It's just like carrying groceries every day. Or if you had to work in the garden every day. Your arms and your body are meant for basically weight-bearing exercise. Now, we want to monitor how we sleep. If I don't sleep well, I don't exercise hard the next day, really. You get a lot more damage and acid response when you're fatigued. If you had a lot of stress yesterday too, it's better to do like a wellness day the next day, usually they say. So, there's a lot of factors, determine what you should do in a given day. Like, should you exercise hard every day? No, not necessarily, but can you in certain circumstances? Yes. All right, guys, so let's go back to down dog. And let's breathe here. Now, I'm going to go to a one-arm dog hold. I want to get on one arm in the shoulder, okay? This is not an easy posture, but it is doable. If you can't do this, something like thread the needle or just hold down dog. I'm going to widen my feet about wide as my mat. Now we're going to hold. So first one arm hold. My left hand goes to the center of my mat a few inches. So from this angle, you can see my left hand walk to the right a little bit, and then my right hand reaches for my left ankle. So first twist hold here, guys. Notice my hips flop to the left, bring them back to the right, pull gently and twist to the left. Take a few breaths. Try to soften the back of your neck. Yogis, it's a really good idea to have the hand on the block too. Where I started yoga, my first 5 years of yoga, there was not a yoga block in the room. They didn't have yoga blocks. And there was beginners, there was tight people. Yoga blocks is a kind of like a new thing. Iyengar made it very famous. Deskachar, that lineage, right? They're all in that same lineage. Now let's come back to center. Second side, right hand on the left. I want to get that arm working. Left arm toward right, outer ankle. Notice if your hips flop left, bring them back to the right, bring them back to the left. Twist underneath the armpit, breathe. So the goal is to work that arm in a much more intense way after the moving symmetrical arms. Now we come into the rotational one arm quality, a little bit higher in the shoulder. Again, if you can hold handstand, you do that instead, okay? Now, let's go slow. We're gonna come back to our downward facing dog. We're not done yet, okay? Downward dog, walk those feet back if you step them forward. Let's work those arms and bend. That was straight arms, shift forward. Okay, listen, go slow. Most of us get on those knees. We're gonna bend the elbows about a third of the way down. Hold, hold. Shift the chest more forward, the hips a little bit more down. Squeeze the butt. Hold, hold. Straighten your arms. Bend the elbows, 60%. So, yeah, I want you to go a little bit lower now, okay? Hold. So that's 2/3, right about. Hold, hold low plank. So we're not really doing push-ups now, guys. Push-ups are awesome, but if you want to get strong, you hold the push-up too. Okay, now straighten your arms. Now listen, I want you to go in between there. So we went about 30, we went about 60. So bend the elbows, let's say about 45. So a little above halfway, hold there. Hold, guys, come on, you gotta shake, hug those elbows in. Freak out a little bit. Okay, straighten your arms. 2 more rounds. Bend the elbows halfway. Just notice, I want to shift my chest more forward. Elbows are right over wrists. Hold, halfway down. Hold, 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 hold. Straighten the arms. Come on, you're getting stronger right now. Find that mental strength. You got 1 more round only. Bend the elbows, halfway down and hold for 10, 9, hold. Hug your elbows in, 8, 7. Relax your traps from your ears. Breathe, 5, halfway there, right? 4, hold, hold, hold. 3, 2, nice job. Down to your chest. So shake it out for a moment, the windshield wipe. Okay, look at this. All right, a little subtle work down here, yogis. Core, we're in the back body. Watch me here. Lift my chest, fingers wide on the fingertips. Fingers wide, point the toes. Okay? See how my arms are straight, so I'm not here. Here, lift the chest. Okay, lift the chest, think Sphinx Cobra. Right leg lifts, hold. Engage your left leg too. Okay, now put the right toes down, lift your left leg. Listen, put the left foot down, lift both legs. So my fingertips are down, yogis. A little bit different, right? Both feet down. Right foot lifts. Come on, straighten that leg, point that toe. Think like a dancer's foot, like the ballerina, okay? Right foot down, left foot hovers. Okay, left foot down, lift the chest, push your pubic bone down, both feet hover. You could add the arms if you want, okay? Keeping the hands down keeps a little bit of that strain out of the lower back. Okay, now go slow. Keep the chest lifted if you can. 1 more round, so legs come down. Your fingertips are out extended if you're still doing that. No worries if you have a little different variation. Right foot hovers, hold. Yogis, you get those glutes strong, okay? Right foot down slowly, left foot hovers. Try to activate your right leg also, but it's not lifting. So we're just bringing a more isolated approach to one leg. Okay, now put the left foot down, last part, lift the chest. Go ahead, push your pubic bone down, lift both legs. If you feel good, lift the arms. Big inhale. Exhale, lower down. Meet and down dog, quick child pose if you need it. So that was the posterior chain, right? Back body. So we really haven't gone super strong in the abs or anything yet. Let's slowly walk our feet to the front of our mat. If you want, we're meeting in down dog. If you want to take a couple hops here, that's a good place to do it. Eventually, you hop forward, okay? So that anytime I say step forward, you want to add extra hops, hop forward, flow, that's good, all right? Widen your feet, just take a yogi squat at the front of your mat, breath or two. If you want to throw in a quick crow pose here, another nice option. Elbows push the knees open, knees push back into elbows, chest lifts, heels push down. Try to press the big toe of both feet down and squeeze your pelvic floor, so your perineum. Yogis, if you're looking for one posture to engage your pelvic floor, it's yoga squat. If you're looking for the second posture, it's like a goddess or any straddle, like straddle forward fold. Engage your pelvic floor here, yogis, all right? Important, all right? Big inhale, hands on floor, hips lift, feet turn in, bend knees, hands on hips, rise. Second round of our slow standing work. I know you were waiting for this. You'll love this today, right? So lift your core. Remember how it all started. Posture is primary. It all comes from here. Create a subconscious routine to stand tall. It'll change your life. It will. Here we go. Hands on hips, left knee lifts. Breathe. This is not easy. Go slow. Bend your right knee. If you came in a little bit after we started, you missed the first round of all this stuff. So now we're going big, stronger. Watch the right knee. I spring it over to the right. The left knee goes to the right, and then it comes out to the left. My hips stay kind of facing forward. My left knee goes across to the right, and then I bring it to the left. One of the main focuses here is the standing leg, yogis. So I want you to feel it goes over to the right a little, weight in your standing heel, and then it comes open to the left. My hips really don't, open and close. So this is a lot of the hip flexor. I know. I'm only doing one exercise here at a time because of the hip flexor tension. That's why we did this glute thing on our chest, because it was hip flexor heavy, all right? Now go slow, left foot down, right knee lifts. Remember, that's antagonist itself. That's gonna turn on the glute. So again, bend your standing knee, lift that knee, and then it comes across to the left slightly. My left foot doesn't pivot, and then it comes out to the right. It comes across to the left. You can bend that left knee more and twist a little bit more, but I suggest moving less if you're new to this movement. It's a weird one, right? What do we have to work on stabilizing more? The legs, this type of movement. We don't get a lot of that in the traditional yoga, these postures where we are in rotation, but it's very static. We're not like moving through this space. So really important to remember stabilizing closed chain, leg in spiral. And that's what this is doing, okay? It's not easy now. Does everyone get it? It's subtle, it's weird. That's normal if you're feeling that. All right, now listen, right knee back to center. Just a quick taste. I don't want you to do too many of those on the first time. Feet about hips width distance. Look at this little standing back bend. You'll feel that nice kind of lengthening through here. That's what I was mentioning, is kind of being overworked. Next exercise is lateral. That was very twisty. Remember the first kind of thing was always forward and back? Now we're in the lateral and the rotationals. Hover your left foot, but my knees stay next to each other. I'm here. Bend your standing knee. Bend your standing knee, okay? Left leg goes out to the side. Left knee comes down next to right. Left leg goes out to the side. I can hinge over to the side a little bit. Back in, out, go slow, in. So we're getting all this balance in today, guys. Let me see, yeah, don't hunch the chest too far forward. A little bit's okay. So from the side, okay, I'm just going out to the side. Left knee next to right, out. Now in the more challenging version, you know, what we do is we go out and you can like hold and do that little movement. I'm giving you the more beginner there. Or you can even get like low and do it. So if I bring my chest forward and down, it's a lot more challenging. Abduction, so there's your glute, your hip stabilizing muscle, okay? Now go slow, left foot comes down, give it one of these. We're just getting a little bit low on time here, guys, so I'm kind of moving through a little bit faster. I'm sure you don't mind that, okay? Because this is not easy stuff. So bend the knees, your right foot just hovers back. So remember we did this before. We're not doing that now, we're just kind of going here. Bend the standing knee, wait until the standing heel, it goes out and then it comes back in. Okay, you can take your right hand on your outer right hip and feel that muscle tighten as you go out. That's one of those main glutes, okay, the outer posterior hip. Just make sure, guys, that your knee isn't like forward doing this. I want those knees like kind of back more. When people train with me personally, I do the same thing, but you have a band around your thigh. So if you had an elastic band, it's literally this. And it's about 1,000,000 times more fun, okay? So last few, looks pretty good. You know, how's your core? You pulling that abdomen in a little bit? How's those traps? You relaxing your shoulders? No wasted energy, no overstressing the body unnecessarily. So a heavy dose of this standing hip work today, all right? Now let's keep going, right foot down. So we're gonna go back into rotation. This one's not easy, okay? Now, I want you to think pigeon. Left knee lifts, you can start with hands on the hips. If you want more arms for this one, arms can start to go up. Now watch it, it's very simple. The inner edge of my left foot lifts up, 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 and I lift my whole shin, knee, and heel. And then it just neutralizes subtle. So back to subtle. See that? I can barely move here. It's so tough. Inner edge of left foot, shin, go in and upward. So external rotation from the left femur, hip, and then lift it up. Woo! And then slowly neutralize it. Lift it up, neutralize it. Last few. Oh, that looks good. Everyone in class is a regular, so you know we're not doing this style of practice regularly, but it is really good stuff, guys. A lot of the modern exercise physiology, the science of how we should exercise the musculoskeletal body is leaning towards this type of stuff. So we do big dynamic warm-up. So let's slowly bring the left foot down, shake it out. Maybe this might feel good, right? I like to look at the modern science and mix it in with our yoga style, okay? Let's be well-rounded here. Arms up, right knee lifts. So it's quite simple. You lift the knee, you turn the inner right shin up. I'm flexing the foot, and I lift it up, and then I neutralize. Okay, I turn it in, lift it up. It's like I'm trying to bring the inner right shin to my chest. Woo, and then I go here. We're only gonna do 2 more standing exercises. And like I said, guys, when I did this last night, I did like way more different exercises. This is, in a way, a beginner approach to this, okay? We could do a lot more. There's a lot more subtle things we could do. In every exercise, we can work knee joint, ankle, all the complex hip, the pelvic tilt, or any spinal action in any form of the leg. Okay, so we could literally spend all day doing these subtle things. All right, but here's a good way to look at it in a basic form. Okay, so you're here, active pigeon. It's called Dorva. Dorvas, I've had you do this too, right? This is also Dorvas, but this is the active straight leg. Okay, go slow. Now take the right foot down. Take a moment here, neutralize. Anytime we're in flexion, that's good. All right, last abduction. This is adductor, abductor, inner thigh, outer hip. It's subtle, it's pelvic tilt. It's not really anything else. It looks like you're moving your leg and your core, but it's funny, it's more like pelvic tilt. Now my left knee lifts, my hands go on my hip. Now watch me for a moment. It's like I get lazy and my hips shoot to the right, and then watch, the hips shoot to the left. It's like you go like this. Anyone stand like this? And then you go like this. It's that, but on one leg. It's kind of hard to see, okay? Hands here, hips shoot right. Pull back to the left. Right, left, right, left. Woo, that's so good. People always ask me how to strengthen their abductors. This stabilizes their hip joint better. This is one of the best ones. In my opinion, it's better than side plank. It's even better than like half moon. All right, because it's dynamic and it's standing upright. When in life are you ever like this? Rarely. When in life are you in side plank? Never. So anything how we can relate to strengthening our body, you're always like this. You know, that's where we need the strength. Does everyone feel it here? Okay, second side. Left knee lifts. Oh, right knee lifts. Get lazy, the hips flop left. You pull the hips straight to the right, like someone's pulling the cord. But look how my head doesn't really move. You see that? Lateral tilt. That's all it is. It's tricky. What's really fun is when you start doing this on your wobble board. Oh, that is good stuff. Let me see, it looks pretty good. I can't really see all yours, but so yeah, it's not the moving of this leg. This doesn't really move, look. Don't worry, a lot of this stuff, it takes time to learn it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get it now. What's actually happening in the standing leg is this. But it's weight-bearing closed chain, it's called. Remember, closed chain exercise is, let's say, when you're attached to the ground. So if I was doing this leg is open chain, this leg is closed chain, they call it. Very different properties and how the strength relates to the body. So now we're gonna go our final standing exercise. Take a moment, give it one of these. Look, give it one of these. Look, inside, front, outside, back, back. Good stuff right there. Outer hips, hip flexors, abdomen. Yeah. All right, so final standing exercise. Let's say we put it all together to keep it simple. Circumduction. Watch me. I'm gonna bend my left knee. The knees stay together. It didn't go forward yet. So watch, I'm gonna bring the knee forward, across, and turn it laterally. I'm gonna bring the knee wide, like we did earlier. Watch, from here, I don't lean forward. I turn the hip in, I turn the hip in, I lift the foot up. I bring the knee back down, and I push the foot back. Watch, knee up, across, lateral, abduct, medial, lift the outer edge of that back foot up, bring the knee down and push the foot back. Watch. I start here. I go here, I bring it across and turn it in and up. Same side. I bring it neutral, I bring it wide. Watch. I immediately rotate. I don't lean forward, Bob. I bring it down, but watch the foot here. I push it back. Think of it like a glute extension. I bring it up. I turn it in. Go slower, though. That was way too fast, Bob. You know, sometimes I'm trying to like get through the demo so I can let you go here. Go as slow as possible, yogis. Come on now. Now, what I want you to do is try to reverse that, too. This is your last hip thing. After this, we're going to blast right here in the tri, okay? And, you know, I'm going to give you like an ab thing, and we're pretty much going to have to call it a day on the strengthening there, okay? Yeah. So everyone feels that. So again, reverse would just be like this. Look, medial, medial, medial. Remember we did that? And then lateral. And then bring it across, adduct, rotate laterally, neutralize, glute extension, medial, turn open lateral. Doesn't have to be like exact, guys. To break that down, it would take a workshop style practice. We need a couple hours to really break that all down. All right, we got our second side for our final standing exercise. Here we go. Right foot hovers. Right knee lifts, it goes across a little. It rotates laterally and your shin lifts. It neutralizes, it goes wide. Horizontal abduction. It immediately rotates, the knee turns down, the outer edge of the right foot lifts. I'm trying to stand up tall. It starts to close here and I push the heel back without leaning forward. I can even squeeze my head on my butt a little extra. Okay, and then I come back up through center, I bring it across, turn it in and up. I bring it neutral in the rotation, I bring it wide. Even though this seems like lateral rotation, it is, you know, but it's more of that abduction in the horizontal plane. I go medial, I keep the knee lift. I want to try to stay upright, Bob. Okay, and then I bring it down, I push the heel back. Go ahead, do like 2 to 3 more in that direction, then switch directions. You should hopefully kind of get it by now. If you don't, no worries. We've done this once, twice before in class. We'll bring it back around. Oh man, your hips are gonna be feeling good. Tomorrow you pop up out of bed, your hips are gonna feel like strong, horse legs. You're gonna be like running around tomorrow. All right, so go opposite direction if you haven't. All right, so getting a little low on time here, guys. I do want to hit the triceps one more time. I was hoping to do a little bit of the back body work like here. It's okay. We did some the locust work and fill that void. So, you know, limited time today. Let's keep moving forward. Did everyone feel that in their hips pretty good? Does everyone see the method I was referring to? The standing, slow, subtle movements. So much balance today. Every single thing on our feet was balanced. So widen your feet. Let's take that yogi squat, big inhale. Think of it like a neutralizer. And last thing here, strengthening the upper body. Now I'm gonna do that turbo dog today. Really hit those triceps. It really goes good with the bent arm plank. So let's come back to our down dog. Now, if you have like forearm balance, you wanna do that, that's fine. So watch what I'm gonna do now, guys. It's down dog, a little bend in the knees, lifting the heels. I'm gonna bend my elbows here. So before we were acting bending elbows here. So now I'm in down dog, and I'm gonna bend my elbows, hug them together so they hover. Now, you start by bending an inch. Hug them in, relax your neck. And then you work on straightening after a little bit of a hold, a pause. Just like a low plank hold, right? So you bend, maybe halfway, hug your elbows in, press the thumb, index finger down, hold, hold, hold. Straighten. With practice, yogis, I want you to hover like 1 inch, but you gotta really be resilient in keeping your hips up and back, pressing your palms down, relaxing the back of your neck, hugging your elbows in. So eventually you're gonna hold 1 inch. You know, you get like super strong here, you do one arm. So eventually you're in the one arm dog and you bend the elbow here. And you hold, you hold, you hold. And you straighten. Then you switch arms. You bend, you hold, 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 hold. Now, you go on one arm, you're gonna be more inclined to shift weight forward. Try to keep the weight back in the heels. So we're in down dog, we're just bending our elbows. You're still pulling the chest toward the thighs, your sit bone's still reaching up and back. You're still pressing the inner hand down, hugging your elbows in. Nothing has changed except the elbows bend. Okay, let's go. Come on, work here, guys. All right, I know some of you gotta leave at 10. I'm gonna go a few minutes past today. You're welcome to stay if you got the time. If not, maybe you wanna throw in a stretch from here and a shavasana on your own. If you have to leave early, yogis, I want you to do that shavasana on your own. stop 5 minutes earlier, skip the extra stretch, the strengthener, and do your at least 2 to 3 minute shavasana. So last round here for those arms. Come on now. Here. You know, when people ask how I can do handstand push-ups, right? I get handstand, I can do, my best ever is 5, but if you want to see the demo, like say I'm at the Bay Club or Equinox and I'm working out, kind of doing yoga in the gym, kind of mixing some stuff in, this is how I do this. Look at this. This is down dog, right? This might slip actually, so let me go here. So this is down dog. Watch what I do. Dolphin, elbows towards chair. Look at the cat. Look at the cat. It's that same thing you're doing. And a lot of times I'll get in here, which is where you're working, and I'll pulse. Oh boy. And then what I do, look, I bring my chest lower and pulse up a little higher. So it's a pulse in the elbows and in the upper arm. Eventually you do it on one leg. So you can do that turbo dog on one leg as well. People ask how you get the handstand push-up. It's all bent arm. All right. You need to work on holding bent arm, moving in and out of bent arm. So push-ups and then full bow plank, down dog, bent arm, and then it's eventually handstand straight arm into bent arm. It's the same thing. Okay. But you start with like forearm balance, which is like dolphin. Handstand is like dog, and then you work that in between. Same exact principle, just done with the feet on the floor. Swing your legs around, come to seated. You guys feel that in the back of your arms? Yogis, it will make your triceps bulge. I don't do weight in my triceps, okay? I just do stuff like that. You're more than enough body weight. You just keep adding body weight, one leg lift or both legs lift. So quick little core work if you want it. Let's lower right down to our back. Here we go. Arms forward, lift the chest. Okay, if you feel good, legs go forward. Okay, big inhale, arms back, little twist to the right. It's like your hands reach to your outer right thigh, big inhale, arms here, exhale, twist left. It's a subtle twist. Okay, we didn't do like too much big twisting. Inhale, exhale, knees can be bent, inhale, exhale. Last few. So if you need to see me from here, I'm just going like this. Look how small the twist is. You can even add a little pulse. You twist, pulse, pulse, pulse. Inhale, exhale, twist, pulse, pulse, pulse. Last few. I was talking to a friend, like, some of you know I'm teaching outdoors again at the Bay Club, Mondays and Fridays. I'm teaching outdoors at Equinox up in Marina Del Rey. They're all outdoor facilities now. And everyone's like, man, yoga classes are never going to be longer than an hour again. They're always going to be an hour. We're going to miss the good old days where we had 75 minutes and 90-minute classes, but you never know. All right, now take your time. You done with your abs? How about we start stretching? Now, we did a ton of hips today, so I'm going to do a stretching sequence on the back. A little bit quicker today, since we're getting a little bit late here on class, all right? So you're done with your abs, we done your back. If you want to take a quick bridge, that might feel good. I don't think we need that today, guys. We did. All that standing with your knee up is glute firing. I mentioned earlier, if you're trying to strengthen your glutes, just holding this. Killer glute, okay? So if you want a bridge, that's fine. But I'm going to keep moving. It starts with happy baby. So hamstrings, calves, ankles, maybe big toe or outer edge of foot, rolling sacrum down. And I suggest a little extra stretching approach, bending and straightening knees. Yeah, you're starting to make it feel good, yogis. I mean, that was more balance probably than you've done, some of us, for any yoga class ever, right? So you need that. And particularly when we balance, we're holding. That was all moving stuff, okay? It's a different type of balance for the hip. Now listen, it's called half reclining lizard or baby, left leg releases. If you want, you can start to straighten your leg. You can use a strap or take your hands behind your hamstring.
So the right leg straightens more. So it's half happy baby, lizard, into more of a reclining split. My right hamstring's kind of slightly injured actually, so strained. I don't like the word injured, it's just kind of, it's strained, so I can't even straighten my leg at all right now. So I'm here. Okay, if I want to take the leg out a little bit, now look, I could grab the hamstring and do this. I could keep the knee bent and do this. Or I could grab the big toe with my strap or my hand and open it up. So, you know, a nice kind of just quick release through the hips, right? Now, watch me here. You can come across to the center. Now, 2 parts, you could take it to half the pigeon. So I would grab, you know, the left hand grabs the outer edge, the sole of my right foot, and I go here, I turn it in. Some of us might want to go figure 4. See that? So this is like warrior 3. This is like half moon. Now we're in the pigeon. And then you take it into the deepest twist of class. So that leg releases, left leg releases forward, right knee across to the left. Woo. All right, biggest stretch of class here. Walk that left hip to the right. Take a couple breaths. If you want more, you use the strap, right? So your left hand can be around the strap around the right foot. If you want the big pose, this is the biggest stretch here. Right hand reaches forward, left knee bends, and you grab that foot. Warning, huge, enormous stretch.
And remember, that is part of the coil sequence in the modern exercise physiology. That's the modern exercise kinesiology says that's like the biggest stretch you can do basically in the body. Okay. There's many ways to do it, right? Okay, now big inhale. Let's release that. Let's take a full body stretch and then meet back in happy baby. So let me just show you quick, guys. This is part of the coil. This is part of the coil. Okay, this is part of the coil. They all are part of that like biggest stretches you can do in your body, okay? Now second side, half happy baby. So left leg stays bind, you're like this on your back. You're working towards straightening your left leg. Guys, we're gonna do this. I'll give you a quick squeeze and then we'll take a short shavasana and then we'll be all done, all right? It's about 10:04 if anyone needs the time. We're a few minutes past already. Now you're starting to straighten that left leg a little bit with the hamstring, the strap, and then you open it to the side. So that's like our triangle half moon of class, even though we did strengthening like that. Take a couple breaths, enjoy it, right? You did a lot of work today. Okay, then you come back to center. No rush. Remember, it's pigeon, so you can cross that left ankle atop your right knee, or just turn that left shin in, grab the foot or the shin, and pull it toward you. You know, they're all the same there. Couple breaths. So someone sent me an email, yogis. You guys see I record the classes. I'm not recording you. I have you on the big screen on the side. I'm only recording mine. So it's for, you know, just so I have a library classes here and just for some feedback on how I instruct. You know, I try to, you know, listen to them sometimes, watch them just to make sure it's all right. So I'm not recording you guys. All right. Now take your time. The final part is the twist. So if your leg is forward for figure 4, that right leg goes forward, scoot your hips left, turn the rotation out of the knee and bring it across. So big twist, right hand and out of left thigh. Yep. left arm reaches out. You stretch your neck here, look to the left. And then the big double bind, left hand reaches forward, right knee bends. So you take 2 to 3 more breaths there. You release very slowly. You take one quick neutralizer. If you want to swing your legs up over your body, if you want to sit up and touch your toes, let's just do, the real minimum. The first type of yoga I ever did was like the Kriya Hatha. And they always just say a 2-minute minimum. Like literally it has to be 2 minutes. You can't go shorter than that for the Shavasana. So if you have extra time and I want you to stay longer. All right, so let's meet eventually, seated position or on our back. Yeah, just shake it out a little bit. Take a breath or two. And then, basically you don't want to take too long. If we develop this like long drawn out thing to get into Shavasana, some days you want to kind of just jump right in. Take a big breath and sigh it out, kind of shake it out. You get right into that relaxation, okay? So you let your lungs relax, your eyes relax, your face relax. You just melt into the floor. You let your bones get heavy. So we got our final pose, 2 minutes today.